I so don't deserve that, but I appreciate it anyway. Okay, there's a... Let's see if I can fix it. Oh my gosh. So the nice thing is I can highlight these and move this, and you know, you get the idea. So then what can happen? This is such a sad little creature. Okay, so then what I want to do before I export this is before I save it, is I'm going to go ahead and add something that is 1 inch by 1 inch. And I know that this is 1/4 inch, so it's 4. And I'm going to erase this later, but it turns out that right now with our laser cutter, you have to import your files into CorelDRAW. And CorelDRAW sucks. I mean, some people love it because... because they get used to it and they understand it. But I really don't understand them. So one of the things that CorelDRAW does when you import it is it can freak out and it won't understand units. And it'll have the right perspective of everything, but it will be like each unit is 1 mile instead of 1/4 inch or something like that. So you usually have to resize it, and it turns out it's a lot easier to resize it if you have like a square unit that then you can make a grid like we've got here and then resize it. And then you save it, and it'll save as an SVG, which is I like that file format. You can save it as other things. Inkscape's really flexible, I like it. Okay, let's stop this. You get the idea. Okay, I'll draw it, save it. Okay, where's my presentation? Okay, no, that's not it. Okay. Yay! Okay. I can, yes. From 4 to 3?
Yes, because we're for the streaming thing.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can do that. Would you like to come up and do that while I'm... Okay. Okay, let's go here. Maybe this is happy.
May I?
Please.
But you continue talking, right?
Okay. Okay, so then this actually happened before. When we were at Robo Exotica a year ago, and I always mess up the display preferences of some sort.
Here we go.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Thank you. Tim. I told you I wasn't an expert. Okay, so let me just make sure I told you everything. I did. Great. That's like, right now, every one of you could call yourselves a digital designer if you wanted to. And the nice thing about this is, with what you just saw, you can actually design so many things, and you don't have to have a laser cutter. You could print it out, put it on a piece of cardboard, and do it that way. Okay, but what do you do when you have the file and you want to share it with the internet? Me and my friend Zach, who is going to be giving the RepRap talk tomorrow, decided we were going to make a website in an hour. And it's called Thingiverse, and it's a place where you can share object files. And really, he's the person who's good at making websites, and so it's actually quite nice. And it's a place where if I thought that character was worth anything and I wanted to share it with the world, I would upload it there, and then anybody could download it and make it if they wanted to. I'm not going to do that with that particular one, but I've done that. I have lots of, all my designs go up there, and you can all do whatever you want with them. Okay, look, a monkey. So this is a little story that I like, that I think I started to tell the story. I don't know how far I got. So I decided I was going to make, with what you just saw, I was like, I basically did that for like 2 weeks where I made these characters. And this is my first one. I made a monkey. And it was slightly see-through, so you could see its skull inside its head. I really like this. You can see its heart inside its body, too. And I made a little comic that showed people how to make it. And I laser cut about 50 of them, thinking that the whole world would just really want this, and people who collected those little miniatures would buy these up and collect them. I sold 2. Sometimes the world doesn't want what you offer, and that's okay. But the nice thing is I went to sleep, I made it, I published it, and I woke up in the morning, and my friend Martin, who's of lasernlasern.de, he has a laser here in town. He had seen the thing, and even though I hadn't published the design yet, because I just published it before collapsing, he reverse engineered it and then made it better, and then took a much better picture than I had. And this is one of those times where you make something and you share it with the internet and it gets better. I really like this. So let's move on and talk a little bit about rapid prototyping history. So this is a really wonderful old school CNC. It's not CNC, it's an NC mill. And this is actually currently in the Vienna Technical Museum, which is a really fun place. I'm also looking forward to going to the Technical Museum here, which I hear is pretty awesome. And it is controlled with tape. And I saw this and I just thought, this is really something cool. And it turns out, this is what the tape looks like. And isn't that pretty? And I'm not sure what exactly this says, but I'm sure it says something like, change the X value, move the X value until it hits 23, or move the Y value until it hits 42. And then it says, okay, next one. And there's over on the right-hand side of each tape, there's like a marker that says like every 20 dots, and it's very satisfying to look at. Let's go. So then the nice thing is after this, this came out in 1949, and in many places this is still in use because they're freaking reliable. When you've designed something, you design it and it outputs a roll of tape. So if you want to make it again, you just rewind the tape. And then if it breaks, you just use Scotch tape and you put it back together. And so they're kind of like, they're bulletproof. Okay, so this is that kind of thing, and big machines, in many ways, are out of the reach of individuals. So, of course, you have to do it yourself.
Hi, I'm Marius.
And I'm Philip, and we are from the RepRap research team at MetaLab in Vienna, Austria.
Here you can see a RepRap ShotBot, which is a robot that prints out shot glasses. This RepRap was developed by Guy Pettis and a team of hackers here at the MetaLab last year for the Cocktail Robot Festival Roboxotica. It failed and it burned.
We replaced most of the electronics and we fixed the new extruder, and now it prints perfectly again.
Now it's printing a shot glass to toast its own birth.
Here we have a temperature sensor and we have a heating element, and it just heats, and the plastic, it gets squished, it gets pressed down here by the screw, and so yeah, it's melted in here and then extruded in thin filament.
I love the melting. Yeah.
Cheers! We drink to the birth of a RepRap.
Hey, gar.
Oh.
Drinking, a very important part of robotics. So last year I brought a rep strap with me to Vienna and left it, and then, as they mentioned, it completely, smoke is how robots express love. And then they got this they had this CNC machine hanging around that they'd bought and was and they took the little Dremel thingamajigger out and they custom made a little RepRap extruder spot that fit right in there, and this was a little bit more. They've made some really special things. You can check out MetaLab's Actually, their soup is really good. If you go reprap.soup.io, you can see a bunch of their projects. Okay, I'm going to make you suffer through
This
this.
is freaking awesome. Hi, I'm Devin Jones from NYC Resistor, and this is my gantry router. This is a computer-controlled Dremel that can carve into wood, foam, acrylic, whatever, to be able to carve out designs as you make them on like draw them in a CAD program, and then you can carve them out to carve out whatever you want. And this is the first successful test that we've had. I've been working on this for a very long time, and to see it actually do something is a fantastic feeling.
Okay. So there's kind of a theme going here. If you notice, like, the people who, actually making a robot work is like, I won't compare it to sex, but it's pretty good. This is a guy I know, Bruce Shapiro, out of Minneapolis, and he has a site called The Art of Motion Control, or actually it's called TAOMC, and he loves to work with motion control. So one day he was sitting around and it was almost Easter, and he had a few extra stepper motors, and he likes these kind of the old laptops that have parallel ports. And so he just slapped this together, and then he makes this thing that decorates eggs. Why not? It's great. And the other thing about these things, if you get into this, is I don't care how bad your ADHD is, because I know we all have it pretty strongly in here. No matter what, you have to, when your robot is moving, it doesn't matter. You're not looking at anything else. It's really satisfying. I had the same experience with Drawbot that I made with some friends at HackerBot Labs. This is one of those times, this is kind of my first project like this, where I was like, let's make a drawing robot that takes your picture and then draws it. And then I have no idea how to do this. So I ended up getting some friends involved, and 5 pizzas and 5 cases of Mountain Dew later, this exists. The Evil Mad Scientist Laboratories are this great family in San Francisco, and they decided they wanted a rapid prototyping machine that didn't cost a lot, and they decided to work with sugar. So this thing is if you've ever worked with a soldering rework station, it's a hot air blower and an XY platform, and then every time they want to add a new level, they actually have to pour sugar and scrape it across, and then they fuse that part on, and it tastes good. Yeah. All right, so sometimes, though, you don't want to make the robot. You actually want to make something, and you're not willing to wait around to make something, or you don't have the energy, and you just want, and you have lots of money. So, luckily, the first one is you don't need money. You can use a printer. And I did a project with my friend Allison Kudla, and it was almost Thanksgiving. And we used Blender, really great. Are there Blender people in here? They need a round of applause. That's an awesome program. And we just made a turkey, and then we used this program called Pepakura, which you can basically use for free if you don't save your final Pepakura file. And you end up with something like this, which is really satisfying. And vegan. Okay, next step up, that's just, all you need for that is like a printer, and you probably already have that. Next step up is, if you want to spend a little more money, you can buy a cutting plotter. Excuse me. This is my friend Jeff Rutsky, and I'm going to make you suffer through another one.
Hi, I'm Jeff Rutsky, and I love the Craft Robot. It's smaller than a bread box, and it's an X-Acto knife on wheels. First, let's take a look under the hood. We have the blade and the registration sensor. And so that'll read crop marks in case you want to print and cut something perfectly. It can slice, dice, and make julienne fries. Here, I want to make a circle with a perforated line going down the middle. The next thing I want to make is a stencil. So I'm going to cut this out using lightweight cardboard. And for the holiday season, I want to make this snowflake using some really fancy holographic foil. It sparkles.